Have you ever gone out for a walk thinking you're doing something great for your health, only to come back feeling more tired than refreshed? Maybe your knees ache a little more than they used to. Maybe your back feels stiff, or your energy just isn't there like it once was. And you start to wonder, isn't walking supposed to help with all of this? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. A lot of people over 60 are doing exactly what doctors recommend. You're staying active, you're getting outside, you're moving your body, and walking, out of all exercises, is one of the safest, simplest, and most powerful things you can do for your heart, your brain, your joints, and even your mood. But here's something most people aren't told. It's not just about whether you walk, it's about how you walk. Because the truth is, small habits, tiny things you might not even notice, can quietly reduce the benefits of walking. And in some cases, they can even put extra strain on your body without you realizing it. I've seen this happen over and over again. People who are consistent, committed, doing the right thing, but not seeing the results they expected. And often, it comes down to a few very common mistakes. Today, I want to walk you through some of those. Not to overwhelm you, but to help you get more out of something you're already doing. Because with just a few simple adjustments, walking can go from good to truly life-changing. Let's start with something that might surprise you. One of the most common mistakes people make is starting too fast. Now, I know that might sound a little strange. After all, when you step outside, you probably just start walking, right? Maybe you're thinking about getting your steps in, or you're trying to keep up a certain pace, and before you know it, you're already moving at full speed. But here's what's happening inside your body when you do that. As we get older, our muscles don't warm up as quickly as they used to. Our joints can be a little stiffer, especially first thing in the morning or after sitting for a while. Your heart and circulation also need a moment to adjust. So when you jump straight into a fast pace, your body doesn't have time to prepare. Your muscles are still tight, your joints haven't been fully lubricated by movement yet, and your heart rate rises more suddenly than it needs to. Over time, that small shock, repeated day after day, can lead to discomfort. You might notice soreness in your legs, stiffness in your knees, or just feeling more fatigued than expected after a walk. And the frustrating part is, you might not connect it to how you started your walk. But the fix is incredibly simple. Instead of jumping right into a brisk pace, give your body a few minutes to ease into it. Think of the first 3 to 5 minutes as a gentle warm-up. Walk at a comfortable, relaxed speed. Let your body wake up. You might even notice your stride naturally lengthening, your breathing becoming smoother, and your joints feeling looser as you go. Then, once your body feels ready, you can gradually pick up the pace. That one small change can make your walks feel easier, safer, and much more enjoyable. Now, there's another mistake that's just as common, and it's something I see everywhere. It has to do with how people carry themselves while they walk. Take a moment and picture someone walking down the street. Their shoulders are slightly hunched, their head is leaning forward, and their eyes are focused on the ground just a few feet ahead. Maybe you've even caught yourself walking like that. It feels natural, especially if you're trying to watch your step, or if you've spent years sitting at a desk, looking down at papers or screens. But over time, that posture can quietly work against you. When your head leans forward, even just a little, it puts extra strain on your neck and upper back. Your muscles have to work harder to support the weight of your head, which can lead to tension, stiffness, and even headaches. And it doesn't stop there. When your shoulders round forward, your chest collapses slightly. That limits how much your lungs can expand, which means your body isn't getting as much oxygen as it could during your walk. Less oxygen means less energy, and that can turn what should be an energizing activity into something that leaves you feeling drained. But the good news is, this is one of the easiest things to correct. As you walk, imagine there's a gentle string pulling the top of your head upward, not stiff or forced, just a light lift. Let your shoulders relax and settle slightly back. Keep your chest open, and instead of looking down, bring your gaze forward, about 10 to 15 feet ahead of you. It might feel a little unusual at first, especially if you're used to looking down, but give it a few minutes and you'll likely notice something interesting. Your breathing feels easier, your steps feel smoother, and your whole body starts to move more efficiently, almost like everything is working together instead of against each other. And that's really what we want. Movement that supports your body, not strains it. Now, there's another factor that many people overlook completely. It seems small, almost insignificant, but it can make a huge difference in how your body feels during and after a walk. And that's your shoes. A lot of people continue wearing the same pair of shoes for years. Maybe they're comfortable, maybe you've gotten used to them, or maybe they just seem fine. Others choose shoes based on how they look, rather than how they support the foot. But here's the thing. As we age, the cushioning in our joints becomes more important. Your feet are the foundation of your movement, and every step you take sends a small amount of impact up through your ankles, knees, hips, and even your lower back. If your shoes aren't providing proper support, that impact isn't absorbed the way it should be. Over time, that can lead to discomfort in places you might not expect. Maybe your knees start to ache more, maybe your lower back feels tight, or your feet feel sore after even a short walk. And again, it's easy to blame aging, when in reality, it might just be your shoes. A good walking shoe doesn't have to be fancy or expensive, but it should do a few important things. It should have enough cushioning to soften the impact of each step. It should support the natural arch of your foot, helping keep everything aligned. And it should be flexible enough to allow your foot to move naturally. If your shoes are worn out, if the soles are thinning or uneven, it might be time for a replacement. Think of it this way. Every step you take is either helping your body or putting a little extra stress on it, and your shoes play a big role in which one it is. Making that one change can often bring surprising relief and make walking feel comfortable again. And once those three areas start to come together, your pace, your posture, and your support, you begin to notice something. Walking feels different, easier, smoother, more natural. And that's when it becomes something you look forward to, instead of something you just feel like you should do. But there's another habit that quietly holds many people back, even if they're doing everything else right. And that is not walking consistently. Now, I know life can get busy. Even in retirement, there are errands, appointments, family responsibilities, and days when you just don't feel like going out. So what a lot of people end up doing is this. They take one long walk once or twice a week and feel like that should be enough. It makes sense on the surface. You're still putting in the effort, still moving your body, still getting some fresh air. But your body doesn't respond best to occasional effort. It responds best to repetition. Think of your muscles, your heart, and your metabolism like a system that adapts to what you do regularly. When you walk consistently, most days of the week, you're sending a steady message to your body that movement is part of your daily life. Your heart becomes more efficient, your muscles stay active, your circulation improves, your energy levels become more stable. But when walking only happens once in a while, that message gets weaker. It's a little like watering a plant. If you give it a lot of water once a week but let it dry out the rest of the time, it won't thrive the way it would with smaller, regular care. And the same is true for your body. The good news is, consistency doesn't mean long or exhausting walks. In fact, shorter walks done regularly are often more beneficial than one long walk that leaves you tired. Even 20 to 30 minutes a day, most days of the week, can make a noticeable difference. It keeps your body engaged without overloading it. And here's something many people notice when they make this shift. Walking starts to feel easier, not harder, because your body begins to expect it. It becomes part of your rhythm instead of something that disrupts it. Now, once you begin walking more consistently, there's another small detail that can make your walks even more effective, and a lot of people don't even realize they're missing it. It has to do with what your arms are doing while you walk. Take a moment to think about your last walk. Were your arms moving naturally, or were they mostly still, just hanging at your sides? For many people, especially as we get older, the arms don't move much during walking. It becomes more of a lower body activity with the legs doing all the work, but walking is actually meant to be a full body movement. When your arms swing naturally, they help balance your stride. They coordinate with your legs, creating a smoother, more efficient motion. And they also engage muscles in your upper body, your shoulders, your back, even your core. That means more muscles are working together, which improves circulation and helps your body use energy more effectively. It also helps with stability. When your arms move in rhythm with your steps, your body feels more balanced. That can be especially important if you've ever felt slightly unsteady or cautious while walking. Now, this doesn't mean you need to exaggerate your arm movements or swing them dramatically. It's actually very simple. Just let your arms move naturally. Bend your elbows slightly, keep your hands relaxed, and allow your arms to swing in a comfortable rhythm with your steps. You might find that your walk feels smoother almost immediately. Your pace becomes more natural, your posture improves, and your body feels more connected as a whole. It's a small adjustment, but it can make a noticeable difference. And speaking of small habits that can have a big impact, there's one that has become very common in recent years. Something that didn't really exist the same way a generation ago. Walking while looking at your phone. You've probably seen it, and maybe you've done it yourself. Checking messages, reading the news, scrolling through something while you walk. It seems harmless. After all, you're still moving, right? but this habit can affect your body in a few important ways. First, it brings us right back to posture. When you look down at your phone, your head tilts forward, your shoulders round, your upper back curves, and you end up in that same position we talked about earlier, one that puts extra strain on your neck and reduces how well you can breathe. But there's another side to this as well. When your attention is focused on your phone, you're less aware of what's around you. You might not notice uneven ground, a small obstacle, or a change in your surroundings. And as we get older, balance becomes something we need to protect more carefully. Even a small misstep can lead to a fall, and that's something we all want to avoid. Walking should be a time when your body and your mind are connected to your environment. It's a chance to notice your surroundings, feel your movement, and even clear your thoughts a little. So instead of holding your phone in your hand, try keeping it in your pocket or bag during your walk. If you enjoy listening to something, like music or a podcast, you can still do that without needing to look down. Just keep your head up, your posture aligned, and your attention on where you're going. Many people find that walking becomes more enjoyable this way, more peaceful, more refreshing, and it brings back something that's easy to lose in a busy, connected world: the simple experience of being present. Now, as all of these pieces start to come together, your pace, your posture, your shoes, your consistency, your arm movement, and your awareness, you're already transforming the way your body responds to walking. But there's one more piece that often gets overlooked, even by people who walk every single day, and that is recovery. Now, when most people think about recovery, they imagine something intense, like athletes resting after a hard workout. But here's the truth: even though walking is a low-impact activity, your body is still doing real work every time you go out. Your muscles are contracting, your joints are moving, your heart is pumping more blood, and your body is adapting, little by little, to the effort you're putting in. And for that adaptation to happen properly, your body needs support afterward. One of the simplest, yet most overlooked parts of recovery is hydration. As we age, our sense of thirst isn't always as strong as it used to be. That means you might not feel thirsty even when your body actually needs water, but your muscles rely on hydration to function properly. Water helps with circulation, it supports joint lubrication, and it plays a role in how your muscles repair after activity. If you're walking regularly and not drinking enough water, you might notice subtle signs. Maybe your legs feel tighter than usual. Maybe you feel more fatigued even after a shorter walk. Or you just don't feel as refreshed as you expected. Something as simple as drinking a glass of water before and after your walk can make a noticeable difference. Then there's stretching. Now, I know stretching isn't everyone's favorite thing. It can feel unnecessary, especially if your walk wasn't very long. But gentle stretching after walking helps your muscles return to their resting length. It keeps your body flexible and reduces stiffness later on. You don't need a complicated routine, just a few simple movements. Stretching your calves, your hamstrings, maybe your lower back, can help your body feel more relaxed and ready for the next day. And finally, there's rest. This is something many people overlook because walking feels easy. It doesn't leave you exhausted like other forms of exercise might, but your body still benefits from occasional rest days. Rest doesn't mean doing nothing at all. It simply means giving your body a chance to recover and adapt. Some days, that might mean a shorter walk. Other days, it might mean focusing on light movement instead of your usual routine. When you give your body that space, something interesting happens. You come back stronger, your walks feel easier, your energy improves, and your body becomes more resilient over time. So when you think about walking, it's helpful to see it as part of a bigger picture. It's not just about the steps you take, it's about how you support your body before, during, and after those steps. And when all of these pieces come together, walking becomes more than just a habit. It becomes a foundation for your health. Now, here's the part I really want you to take with you. Walking is still one of the best things you can do after 60. It doesn't require a gym membership. You don't need special equipment. You can do it almost anywhere, at your own pace, on your own terms. It supports your heart. It keeps your muscles active. It helps your joints stay mobile. It even improves your mood and mental clarity. But the real power of walking doesn't come from doing more of it. It comes from doing it better. Small adjustments, starting a little slower, standing a little taller, choosing the right shoes, walking more consistently, letting your arms move naturally, staying present, and taking care of your body afterward. These are the things that quietly transform your results. And the best part is, none of these changes are difficult. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't have to push yourself to extremes. You just need to become a little more aware of how you move. Because your health isn't built on one big decision. It's built on the small choices you make every single day, and walking, when done right, becomes one of the simplest ways to make those choices count. So the next time you step outside for a walk, take a moment, slow down at the beginning, lift your posture, notice your steps, let your arms move, breathe deeply, look around you, and afterward, take care of your body, drink some water, stretch a little, give yourself credit for showing up, because that's what this is really about. Not perfection, not speed, not comparison, just steady, consistent care for yourself. Now I'd love to hear from you. How long do you usually walk each day? Is it about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or maybe even 30 minutes or more? Go ahead and share in the comments. Your experience might encourage someone else to get started. And if you found this helpful, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more simple, practical ways to support your health as you get older. There's so much you can still do to feel strong, capable, and energized, no matter your age. Here's to taking those steps, one day at a time, and making each one count.